This hour's news headlines. Reports claim 3 suspects identified in Tuesday's attacks on Brussels International Airport were long known to local police. Belgium remains on high alert, boosting security at its border. But as RT discovers, it's still easy to enter the country without checks.
It's an empty road. There it is, the sign. We've crossed into Belgium. Absolutely with no problem. At the moment, at least here, it feels pretty free and pretty lax.
The hashtag Stop Islam spreads across social media in the aftermath of the attacks, raising fears of an unprecedented backlash against Muslims. Also ahead this news hour, a former Fly Dubai pilot reveals in an exclusive interview with RT that the crew of the doomed flight that crashed in southern Russia were suffering extreme fatigue, as the company's current and former employees confirm claims of exhaustion. Just turned midday this Wednesday in the Russian capital. I'm Ewan O'Neill and you're welcome to RT International. Our top story this hour, Belgian police have reportedly identified 3 suspects in Tuesday's bombings at Brussels International Airport. Earlier, they'd released photos of the men filmed on CCTV inside the terminal building. 2 explosions at the airport and another in the Brussels underground killed at least 34 people and has left hundreds injured.
After the second explosion, so many people panicked, so many people cried.
Get over there, that's safe! I'm not leaving! Get over here! Oh, Jesus.
When I was outside, I just saw two people with heads like covered, really covered with blood.
We felt a small blast of air, and we heard some thudding in the distance. The metro immediately stopped. The lights turned off, the engine turned off.
You could see smoke coming out of the entrance of the metro station. There was many people who were injured pouring out onto the street.
A manhunt is underway across Europe. 3 men have been arrested in Germany on suspicion of links to the bombings. And in Brussels, several suspects have been detained in a series of raids. RT correspondent Polly Boyko is in the Belgian capital for us.
Well, we're getting fresh reports from Belgian state media that those suspects seen on the CCTV footage in Brussels airport have been identified. 2 of them thought to have detonated the suicide bombs in the terminal building have been named by the media as Khalid and Ibrahim El Bakraoui. They are thought to have been known to the police here in Belgium in connection with the attacks that took place in Paris in November of last year. Now, that 3rd man who is on the run and who police here are still trying to track down has been named by local media as Najim Ladraoui. Now, he is thought to be the chief bomb maker in the Paris attacks. The authorities here have said time and time again that security has been increased, but that has been told before. Following those attacks in Paris, there were raids taking place here in Brussels trying to track down the prime remaining suspect, Salah Abdel Salam, and yet he managed to evade police capture until he was arrested just last week. And it's got to be said, we travelled from the UK through France and into Belgium yesterday, and we managed to make it through completely unimpeded with no extra security checks. We are 800 meters away from the Belgian border. We are trying to establish whether there are being any checks or extra controls carried out, but at the moment it's an empty road. There it is, the sign. We've crossed into Belgium absolutely with no problem whatsoever. Whatever talk there was of extra security or Belgium being on lockdown, at the moment, at least here, it feels pretty free and pretty lax.